Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I have another Marvel Legends review for you. We're continuing the Marvel Studios' first 10 years line of figures, and this time we have Iron Man 3. Again, we're not going through every movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but touching a few as we go along with these. So continuing the tradition, we have the first 4 sets right here, and they're forming an image with little images from each movie as we go, but forming a larger collage, and it looks really, really cool as it sort of continues to form. I wish that, and maybe they have this, I don't know, but if they would actually have like a poster or something once of this full image, I think that would be really, really neat if they did something like that. But today's focus for this video is going to be Iron Man 3. I've already done reviews of these other 3 sets, so go check those out if you haven't already. But we are going to do this review right here for Iron Man 3, which I'm excited about. So these figures, again, represent different pieces of the Marvel Cinematic Universe history. This one in particular, you have the Mandarin from Iron Man 3, you have Pepper Potts as well, and you have the Iron Man Mark 22, which I don't particularly remember this suit, but I guess it's one of the many suits that he has, so it's cool to have another one. At first I was like, wait, is that War Machine? Because the whole gray look, but it's not. So yeah, definitely really, really interesting. I believe this one is an Amazon exclusive. So some of these sets are available at all different retailers, Target, GameStop, etc. I know the first set was a Walmart exclusive, and I think this set was an Amazon exclusive. So if you don't have this already, you might be out of luck, unfortunately. You might have to kind of look on eBay or something. But I want to review it here, and I think it's really cool if you are able to get your hands on it. This seems like a really cool set, so we'll take a look. As all of these do, they have a bio for the movie. So there's the bio, or the plot synopsis rather, for the movie. So there's Iron Man 3. For bios, this is what I meant. So you have bios for Pepper Potts, the Iron Man Mark 22, and the Mandarin right there. Very controversial villain, of course, because people didn't like the whole fake out that they did with the character, but I personally loved it. I have no attachment to the character of Mandarin in particular, but I enjoyed it. There's the poster for Iron Man 3 as well, and this is the 4th set in the Marvel First 10 Years line as well. You have the Iron Man helmet there, same as in the first set that was released right here. So, because it is an Iron Man movie, so we're continuing that tradition. And yeah, that's about it for the box. So without further ado, let's get this open and take a look. Alright, here are the figures out of the packaging, so let's take a look at each one up close. Let's start with the Mandarin right here, or what was his name? Trevor, I think, in the movie, if I remember correctly? I don't know. But looks definitely like the character. I think they did a nice job at really showing his likeness. This full outfit that he has looks very mystical and magical, and certainly very, very interesting. And of course he has all the rings on his fingers to, denote the whole 10 Rings organization. So yeah, I mean, they did a nice job at bringing this character to life in toy form. So again, let's take a look at the details up close here. So there is his face, as you can see. So yeah, nice job with those details there. This full outfit. The robe is truly meant to be a part of the figure. It's not meant to come off. As you can see, the sleeves really just match the actual robe. This whole camo pants and stuff here as well. But yeah, I think they did a nice job with it. Like I was saying before, you have the rings on the fingers. So there's that. And then the actual robe has a bit of a patterned design to it, so it kind of adds to the flair of the character. So yeah, so articulation wise, the head does rotate. It would do a little bit more, but the beard kind of gets in the way a little bit, moves up and down a little. Arms rotate and move up. You do have elbow rotation as well. This whole arm moves, And the hand does rotate a little bit, but not much because the robe kind of gets in the way. So you do have a little bit of movement there. As far as the actual body goes, technically this whole piece can rotate around, as you can see. The legs can move pretty standard for your Marvel Legends figures, but again, the robe sort of prohibits more of that. This whole part of the leg does rotate. Then you do have double joint right here at the knee. It's a little stiff. There you go, but it is a thing. And then the foot does move up and down and side to side and around as well. So decent bit of articulation, of course, and that's pretty much it. A little hard to stand, this figure, but he can kind of balance in the robe a little, so it's not too bad. So there's the Mandarin. We love him or hate him. The figure seems to represent the character from the movie. Then we have the Iron Man Mark 22. And I'll be honest, it's been a little while since I've seen Iron Man 3, but I don't remember this suit in particular. Especially the flames and stuff right there, like, I mean, it looks really cool, though. And to be fair, in Iron Man 3, he had a lot of different suits. So it wouldn't surprise me that I don't remember this, because there were a lot of different suits in that movie. But I actually really like this. And I think it's really cool, because the paint that they used for this reddish piece here is like metallic-y, and it kind of shines, and so it really makes it stand out even more amongst this gray and silver top here. So the flames really stand out, and I think it's a really interesting design. It's not my favorite, but I think it's kind of neat what they were trying to do with it, and it certainly looks pretty cool. So actually, let's take a quick look at the detail up close. So there's the design right there. You have sort of the rectangular little arc reactor there. There's the back. And and then here's the flames and stuff on the legs. So the metallic paint that they used here as well. So yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. And I like this sort of fading effect that they did here with the red and then the gray. I think that looks really neat. So, articulation-wise, the head rotates up and down. The arm, so you do have these little shoulder pads that are kind of there, but otherwise the arm can rotate around as well. Does move up and down. You have double joint right here, and then the hand does rotate as well. This whole chest piece right here technically can rotate all the way around. I don't want to mess with it too much because it seems to be clicking a little bit. It's pretty tight, but it does move. The legs do move as well. Pretty good range of motion. And I think technically, again, this whole piece does rotate around. I don't want to mess with it too much. Seems like you only have a single joint at the knee here. So there's that. And this whole piece just kind of pops up like that. And then with the feet, you don't have that much really motion because this whole back piece kind of goes behind the foot. So it kind of moves side to side a little bit, but otherwise not much range of motion there for the foot. So very interesting design again, and I do think it kind of looks really cool, especially if you want some nice dynamic poses and stuff, like he's kind of ready for action. Like I think that looks really neat to have. And of course, we'll get them side by side with the Iron Man from the previous set right here. And you can see the differences. Actually quite different. Not just in design, but this body seems to be a bit wider than the one on the right. And yeah, very different design styles on both of these figures. So I do like how distinguishable each of these are. So there's that. And then, of course, last but not least, we have Pepper Potts right here. And so this is, spoilers if you haven't seen Iron Man 3, this is from the end of the movie. She's been given the extremis virus, I believe. And so this is when the she's coming out of the fire and everything. She's right here. I will say this is not the greatest figure, personally, in my opinion, of her. The face is okay. Like, it kind of looks like her, you know. I think Marvel has done better jobs in the past, but it's not too bad. I think they actually did a pretty decent job with the nose, mouth, maybe the eyes as well. I just think the overall facial structure is slightly off a little bit, but overall it does look pretty decent. The reason why I don't like this figure, one being, look at the feet. The feet just look really big for some reason, just proportionally. And I guess that's just the downside of, you need bigger feet to have the figure be able to stand. And she's not wearing shoes, so you kind of have to make her feet a little bit bigger. So I don't know a way around it, except for the fact that, you know, it just looks kind of odd now. And just the fact that, like, because she's not wearing anything here, it just looks weird, this being just an exposed arm with these little dividers and stuff, because you need joints for a figure. So figure form, I don't know that it translates super well, but it's a figure of Pepper Potts, and it's kind of cool to have that at least. So in terms of articulation, the head rotates a little bit, but the hair gets in the way, so it does move up and down a little. The arm does rotate. It doesn't really move up much. So as you can see, there's not really much room to move up. This piece of the hand does rotate around, and it does bend at the elbow as well. And then the hand does rotate. Then this top half of the body does rotate around, so it can move side to side. It doesn't look like you can fully twist it around, but you do have some motion right there. This is all one piece right here. And then the legs move apart a decent amount, move forward, back a little bit. But then you can also, if I can try, I don't want to break it, but technically speaking, this leg is a little easier. So this whole leg rotates, is what I was trying to do. You have double joint at the knee right there, and then of course the foot, pretty standard range of motion for these figures. So there you have it. The interesting thing though with this figure is that it comes with an effects piece and an alternate hand. So again, spoiler from the movie, at the end of the movie she gets one of the Iron Man armor hands right here, and is able to blast the enemy right there. So definitely interesting. So let's detach the arm, and it just pops right out, and you can pop in this other one just like that. And now we have something that is far more interesting. I think this is really, really cool, because I like the detail that they have where you can see like the little the pieces of the arm sort of just attaching onto her body right there. I think those are some interesting details. And then the armor has got the same exact sort of shine and look to it that is present in the regular Iron Man figure. Slightly different, tint of red, but then again, this is from the Avengers movie and not Iron Man 3. I don't have an Iron Man 3 one on hand to compare specifically right now, but you do have that and double joint right there, so you actually get a little bit more articulation now with this too. And of course you have the effect piece if you want to add this as well, which is very interesting. So yeah, I think if they didn't give us the alternate arm, I would have been a little bit disappointed in the figure. But now with this, I think it just adds that extra little touch to the figure to make it really interesting. I still think the feet look a little weird, but I'm okay with the arms like this, because the focus is now more on this arm like that. And I'm excited to see in the future, if we get to see more of Pepper Potts in armor and stuff, I think that would be really, really interesting to see. But this figure, though, is pretty cool. And again, it represents a certain memorable part of Iron Man 3. And so it really does represent the movie pretty well. Because, they could have gone with the real Mandarin, but they chose to go with this version of the Mandarin. You have this other Iron Man armor that probably hasn't been released before, and now you have Pepper Potts with the Iron Man arm right there as well. So truly a really cool set that represents the movie in many different ways, and represents the MCU. And this is an Amazon exclusive, so gonna be hard to find, but I think it's worth tracking down. I think there's some cool stuff in this set, and definitely worth looking into. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of this set, and stay tuned for more Marvel Legends reviews to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.